We tend to think of conflict as, well, destructive, something to avoid at all costs. But what if that's only half the story? What if rivalry is actually the secret ingredient, the real driving force behind some of the most creative breakthroughs in our world? That's the big idea we're going to dig into today. From the way molecules dance to the way politics plays out. What if all that friction isn't a bug, but a feature? What if it's the very rhythm of progress?
So, just keep this question in the back of your mind. We're about to see how this exact dynamic plays out in our own families, in our favorite art, and yeah, even in the heart of nature itself.
And we're better to start than with the OG rivalry. I mean, the very first competitor we ever meet, the one who shares our home, our parents, maybe even our clothes. I'm talking, of course, about siblings. Psychologists have a name for this. It's called social comparison theory. Basically, we are hardwired to figure out who we are by measuring ourselves against the people closest to us. And our siblings? They're our first mirror. This isn't just about fighting over the TV remote. It's like a little laboratory where we first learn how to negotiate, how to stand up for ourselves, and how to carve out our own unique identity. And check this out. These two stories show the two different paths a rivalry can take. For the brothers, what could have been a total crisis becomes this incredible moment of bonding, all because of pride. But for the sisters, their parents framed the situation as an injustice, and that single act created a rift that lasted for years. So what's the key takeaway? The outcome isn't really about the rivalry itself, it's about how it's refereed.
Now this whole dynamic, it scales up. It goes from the family right into our institutions. Universities are absolutely full of their own sibling rivalries, with different departments all competing for resources, for prestige, for their very identity.
Take Oberlin, for example. It's got this structural Cold War going on between its world-class music conservatory and its top-tier liberal arts college. Or look at Georgetown, where there's this fascinating clash over the idea of performance. Is it a tool for diplomacy, like in the School of Foreign Service, or is it art for art's sake in the theater department? These internal tensions aren't just campus drama. They're literally what forges the unique character of each place. This idea of, productive friction brings us straight into the world of art. This is a place where the clash of ideas and perspectives isn't just common, it is absolutely essential.
Okay, let's look at the legendary concert film Stop Making Sense. One side of the argument is that all the genius is right there on the stage. It's David Byrne's iconic choreography. It's the raw, undeniable energy of the band. From this point of view, the magic is all in the physical performance.
But then you have the director, Jonathan Demme, and he gives us a completely different take. He says the magic isn't just what's happening on stage, it's how he shows it to you. He very deliberately hides the audience and uses his camera to give you this intimate, subjective experience. It's the editing, the montage, the camera work that creates that incredible energy. It's a classic rivalry, right? Is the art in the thing itself or in the way you tell its story?
And this kind of clash doesn't have to be abstract. At the DC jail, a debate team made up of incarcerated individuals took on Georgetown's elite debate team. And this structured conflict, this head-to-head battle of ideas, became an incredible tool for building communication skills, teamwork. It proves that a direct rivalry can be a profoundly constructive force.
Okay, so now we're going to take a really big leap, because this whole pattern of rivalry, of creation through conflict, it's not just a human thing. It is woven into the very fabric of the natural world, from the grandest scales you can imagine, all the way down to the smallest.
So in the most powerful hurricanes, a brand new eye wall can actually form around the old one. This new wall starts competing with the original, stealing its moisture, stealing its momentum until the inner wall just collapses. It is a hostile takeover on a meteorological scale. And the storm redefines itself through this internal rivalry, and often emerges even stronger. Let's go even smaller, down to the molecular level. PET plastic, the stuff in water bottles, is designed to last forever. Its chemical bonds are incredibly stable, so scientists at Northwestern basically created a rival. They developed a catalyst that actively competes with and breaks those super strong bonds. It's creative destruction in a beaker, using a rival agent to deconstruct something permanent and create something new.
So we've seen this pattern now in families, in universities, in art, and deep inside nature. Now let's bring it all together and see how this elemental rhythm plays out in the really high-stakes world of human society and politics.
And that very same principle, a disruptive force coming in and breaking a stable connection, well, it applies just as much to our political world as it does to chemistry.
And this is where it gets really, really intense.
In the 2018 elections in Wisconsin, these weren't just political fights, they were family civil wars. You had the Republican candidate Kevin Nicholson's own parents donating the maximum amount to his Democratic opponent. And then you had Randy Bryce's brother, his own brother, cutting a devastating attack ad against him. This is the ultimate expression of our theme, an ideological rivalry so powerful it fractures the most fundamental human bond there is.
Which brings us all the way back to our big question. After seeing conflict fuel creation in families and in hurricanes and in politics, are we looking at this all wrong? Maybe the goal isn't to get rid of rivalry. Maybe it's to understand its rhythm and learn how to harness its incredible creative power. What do you think?